This very last section of the planning guide is a glossary, a definition of terms. The first one is a BATNA, which you've already studied, but I put it in there just to make sure that you didn't kind of lose track of what BATNA was, best alternative to negotiated agreement. Basically, what's your plan B, fallback position. Reservation and aspiration. I really love these, and we do these more in depth in the advanced courses, but this gives you a chance to sort of start getting your head around what these two terms mean. So a reservation point is the point at which you are indifferent between a deal and no deal. If you think about that in sense, in your own sort of terms, you'll see that yes, it's the min or the max. It's the minimum that a seller will go to, or it's the maximum that a buyer will go to. But it's got a little bit more flexibility in it, which is really important. And what you'll find is when you give this term reservation point, to your client to help them really decide what they're going to do in terms of an offer or sign back, that it gives them a little bit more wiggle room, because when they set a min or a max, they really feel committed to stick with it, whereas this has more flexibility in it. Aspiration point is also a really interesting term. In a way, it's the goal, but it's defined as an ambitious but not outrageous goal. So that by giving it that definition, it also has a little bit more flexibility. So my goal is $1 million, but if they only get 950 because that's what the market proves to be in the long run, it allows them to save face because they recognize that the million was maybe an ambitious goal. And it gives them a little bit more wiggle room to perhaps consider an offer that is more in line with what they can do, make a better decision, and move forward. The next term is macroeconomics. This is the idea of really big picture economics, what's happening in the world, what's happening in the country and the province. It's the economic news. And yes, you need to be keeping up with economic news as a professional who helps people trade in real estate. Macroeconomics being different than microeconomics, which is the small information, what's going on in their particular neighborhood, in their particular building, or their part of town. And then finally, the absorption rate. And you might also know this as the MOI, or months of inventory. Absorption rate is a more widely used term through different industries, the absorption rate. In a nutshell, it's how long would it take to sell the existing inventory of homes based on current selling ratio. So that's your glossary of terms, and that wraps up your planning guide section of the course.